Do you love the look of Christmas lights, but dread the idea of standing on a ladder for hours in the cold, hanging them up? What if I told you I have a solution that takes just minutes to put up? In this video, I'll show you how to make your own DIY easy hang Christmas lights. They go up extremely fast, and in some cases they blend in with the house so well, you might decide to leave them up all year round. I've left mine up for 2 years now. Did I mention you can swap them from Christmas colors to Halloween colors to New Year's colors to whatever colors you want? The system basically uses 1x2 boards that you can find at your hardware store, an LED strip, and a few extra pieces to make it all work. Once everything's built and assembled, you can use your phone or your computer web interface to change the color of your lights, or even schedule a timer for when you want them to turn on or off. Everything you see today is included in the description below, so enjoy the video, and if you want to go to widgetkc.com and see the full write-up of the project, feel free to do so. Let's start with the 1x2 boards and the LED strips. Keep in mind their lengths might not match exactly. Now is also a good time to plan where your control box will go. The control box houses the smarts for your LED lights. It should be sheltered from the sun and the rain, and should be at one end or the other of your LED strip, ideally near a power outlet. When measuring the 1x2s, pay special attention to the corner types. There's two that we're going to deal with today. Flat corners, like along a roof peak, are measured by butting one board straight into the next. Edge corners, like wrapping around a porch, are measured with the boards joined edge to edge instead. It really helps to draw out a quick plan of your layout and jot down your measurements. Once you've measured each section, add up all the lengths to get your total 1x2 footage. Now that you have the total length of your 1x2s, we also need to figure out the total length of your LEDs. Measure the distance from the control box to where your first LED will light up, and add that distance to your total LED length. For flat corners, add about an extra foot of LED strip each. Will create small loops there that won't be used, but help avoid cutting or stressing the strip. Don't worry if a few LEDs end up in odd spots. We can turn those off later through software. So the strip can double as a short extension cord. For edge corners, no extra length is needed. Next up is the power supply and fuses. A big caution here, you need to make sure that you get a power supply large enough to power all of the LEDs that you are going to put on your house. For this project, we light up every night to make the strips look more like traditional Christmas lights. This also helps reduce the power needed for our project. The LEDs we're using have 60 per meter. Each LED is capable of 0.08 amps at full brightness. Full brightness is basically enough to blind Rudolph. We won't use them at full brightness, but we will plan to use them at full brightness in sizing our power supply to be safe. If we're only lighting up every 9th LED, and we want to plan for that maximum brightness in case we do want to use it, look for about 0.6 amps per meter, or about 1 amp every 6 feet. And needs, you can go ahead and look for a 5-volt power supply that supplies at least that many amps or more. Be sure to purchase a fuse that matches the size of the power supply that you get. I actually split up my house with 2 separate power supplies, one supplying the peak over my garage and the other supply powering the rest of the house. This worked out well because I had an outlet in the middle of my house that I could plug into and just branch those lights out, one in each direction. Next up is the control box. You can buy an off-the-shelf project box from your hardware store, or if you have a 3D printer, you can print one. While you have your 3D printer out, you can also print some corner brackets. These aren't specifically required, but they do help to avoid pinching or otherwise damaging the LEDs during install. You would need 1 corner bracket for the flat corners and 2 corner brackets for the edge corners. While you're at the hardware store, you get the remaining supplies, including the hooks, insulated staples, or you can buy dedicated LED fasteners. I had these staples laying around, so I decided to use those. A couple of small screws to mount your control box to your house, some silicone glue, and a small wire nut. Lastly, the board we are using today can be found over at widgetkc.com. It's the multi-purpose output and input kit board. We use this for a lot of projects on the channel. For the tools, you'll want a 3D printer, which is optional if you want to print your own boxes and corner brackets, some safety glasses, tape measure, a screwdriver, a saw, about any type would work, a hand or a power or a rotary, a drill and drill bits, a hammer, a wire stripper, and computer and USB-C cable for installing your program. Can I just stop here and make a note on how unique that tool list is? Grandpa didn't have a list like that, I bet. Next up is assembling the parts. We're going to start with the multi-purpose board. If your multi-purpose input-output board isn't assembled, go ahead and assemble it now. Lay out your boards on the ground and cut the 1x2 boards to length as you go, using the measurements that you made before. For flat corners like a roof peak, connect the boards like this. For edge corners like a porch, connect them like this. On flat corners, use a saw or rotary tool to notch out a space for the LED strip on the board that butts into the other board. This is where we'll run the LEDs through and loop them around so that we don't pinch them. Install your LED fasteners. I used the electrical staples that I had laying around. The LEDs should be snug but able to slide through. Space the fasteners about every 30 LEDs. Next up are the corner brackets. These are optional. The LED strips are delicate, so use corner brackets to protect them and make mounting easier. For flat corners, align your boards, then install the brackets on the back to form an A shape. For edge corners, line up the hole on the bracket with the outer corner. Screw it loosely, then attach the other board along the slot and secure it loosely as well. We want these boards to be able to move. The mounting hooks are next. Install hooks every 6 feet by twisting them into the boards by hand. Hold the board in place to your house and mark the hook positions on your house and install matching hooks there. Pull the LED strips snug through the fasteners, but not tight. At flat corners, loop about 20 LEDs through the notch and back around. Make sure the arrows on the strip point away from your control box, otherwise your LEDs will not light up. Leave extra slack at the corners. We'll trim and fit that later after we mount these to the house. You can mount the control box, feed the LED wires into your control box through small drilled holes, connect the red wires to the positive terminal, white wires to the negative, and the signal wire, usually a different color, to the D6 terminal. If your colors are different, just make sure you match the positive symbols to the positive symbols and the negative symbols to the negative symbols. The remaining wire is the signal wire and it can go in the last slot in the board. Next up is the power supply. Make sure it's unplugged. Cut off the end and strip the wires. You'll want to connect the red wire of the power supply to the fuse and then from the fuse into the 5-volt terminal of the circuit board. The black wire goes directly into the negative terminal of the circuit board. Always include the fuse for safety. These lights will face rain, snow, and maybe a squirrel or two. Now, after you have everything installed, you might find that some of your LEDs are hanging off the end of your 1x2s. You can cut the LED strip cleanly at the 3 copper pads and then seal the end of the strips with a little bit of silicone glue for waterproofing. You can also do this to your control box to make your control box watertight as well. Next up, remove the microcontroller from your circuit board, and we're going to take this over to our computer to install the program that makes all these lights come to life. To install your program, all you have to do is go over to widgetkc.com and download our Widget KC upload utility. From there, you can click Continue, make sure your devices are unplugged, remove your ESP microcontroller from your device, and then select a program to install. In this case, we're going to install the Christmas Lights Kansas City edition. From there, you can click Start Program Upload. Plug in your ESP chip, and the program will automatically detect it and start uploading your program. This only takes about a minute. After your program is uploaded, you can click on Close, and go ahead and connect to the ESP chip. In this case, it's called Christmas 9114285. Once you click Connect, it will automatically open a Wi-Fi manager in your browser. You can click on Configure Wi-Fi to get your device connected to your home network. And then also name your device something that you'll remember, such as Christmas. Click on Save, and now your device is going to reboot and connect to your home network. To access that device, you simply type in http:// and the device name that you gave it, such as Christmas. And now you know that your program has successfully been uploaded to your ESP chip. Last thing we can do is we can go into settings and we can specify our on time and off time for the timer, the pattern that you want to use when that automatic on-off timer runs, and whether or not you want to use the timer itself. You can also go down here in the avoid sections. So if you have any sections of LED that aren't being used, such as from the control box to the beginning of the strand, you can type this in here. So for example, my LEDs don't start until LED number 20. So I can do 0 through 20. And then my roof peak happens at LED 120 to 140. That's where I have a loop at one of the flat corners. Click Save Configuration, and you're all done. At this point, you can unplug your ESP microcontroller from your computer. You can go back out now and reinstall your microcontroller in the circuit board, paying close attention to make sure you insert it the correct direction. Plug in your power supply, and from there, sit back, relax, open your browser, and turn on whatever type of Christmas lights you want. Congratulations on installing your Easy Hang DIY Christmas light solution. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them below. I'll try to answer them, or maybe someone else has already done the project and they might have some answers for you too. Just a reminder, you can head over to widgetkc.com to find the parts and a full write-up of what we covered today. I have more tutorials and projects coming soon, so if you liked what you saw today, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.